There's a version of you that already has everything you want. Different bank account, different relationship, different body. It's not in the future. It exists right now as a wave of probability in the quantum field. You're not trying to create that reality. You're trying to tune into it. And 90% of people make one mistake that keeps them locked in the wrong frequency. Let me show you what it is, because what I'm about to share with you in the next hour isn't just going to change how you think about manifestation. It's going to fundamentally change how you understand reality itself and your power to ignore the limitations you've been calling real and create anything you want. This isn't positive thinking. This isn't fake it till you make it. This is quantum physics. This is neuroscience. This is the actual mechanics of how consciousness creates matter. Let me guess. You've tried manifesting before. You made the vision boards. You repeated the affirmations every morning in the mirror. You visualized. You scripted. You tried to raise your vibration. Maybe you even worked with the coach, took courses, read all the books. Abraham Hicks, Neville Goddard, Joe Dispenza, and some of it helped. You had those moments, those brief glimpses, where it actually seemed to be working, where synchronicities showed up, where doors opened, where reality seemed to bend just a little bit in your favor. But then it stopped. The pattern returned. The old reality reasserted itself, and you were left wondering, am I doing something wrong? Am I broken? Why does this work for other people but not for me? Here's what I need you to hear. You're not broken. You're not doing it wrong. The problem isn't you. The problem is that you've been trying to change the content of your reality, the circumstances, the bank account, the relationship, the body, while the operating system remains unchanged. You've been trying to reprogram software while the underlying code continues to run the same old patterns. And no matter how many affirmations you say, if your nervous system is still broadcasting the frequency of lack, fear, and unworthiness, the quantum field will keep delivering experiences that match that frequency. What makes this approach different is that we're going to bridge 3 dimensions of understanding that are rarely brought together. Pilar 1, the science of consciousness. We're going to explore the measurable, provable mechanics of how consciousness creates reality. Not philosophy, not metaphysics, physics, real experiments conducted by real scientists at institutions like Stanford, Princeton, and the Institute of HeartMath. We're going to look at quantum entanglement, the observer effect, and bioelectromagnetism, the actual science that proves your thoughts are not contained inside your skull. They're electromagnetic fields that extend beyond your body and interact with the quantum field of infinite possibilities. Pilar 2, energy, self-care as medicine. We're going to go beyond treating energy work as some woo-woo luxury and recognize it for what it actually is. Practical technology for healing your body and rewiring your nervous system. Your biofield, the electromagnetic field generated by your heart, your brain, your cells, is not separate from your physical body. It is your body extended. And when you learn to work with this field consciously, you can literally shift the information your cells receive, change your emotional baseline, and reprogram the frequency you're broadcasting into the quantum field. Pilar 3, natural magic. We're going to reclaim the forgotten art of working with the intelligence of nature, not as metaphor, but as real force. The cycles of the moon, the electromagnetic field of the earth, the elements, the seasons, these aren't just pretty ideas. They're measurable forces that influence your nervous system, your hormones, your biofield. And when you learn to align with these forces instead of resisting them, you tap into a current of support that makes manifestation feel effortless instead of exhausting. When you bring these 3 together, science, energy, and practice, something extraordinary happens. You don't just change your thoughts. You don't just heal your emotions. You literally shift into a different timeline where the old patterns simply don't exist anymore. Now, before we go further, I need to give you a warning. This content is activational. As you watch this video, you may notice physical sensations, tingling in your hands or feet, warmth in your chest, pressure between your eyebrows. You may feel emotional. You may feel a sudden urge to change something in your life immediately. You may even feel resistance, a part of you that wants to click away, dismiss this as impossible, protect the old identity. All of that is normal. That's your system recognizing truth. That's your higher self saying, yes, finally, this is what I've been waiting for. And that's your ego saying, wait, if this is true, I have to take responsibility for everything I've created. Trust what you feel in your body more than what you think in your mind. Your body already knows. Your mind is catching up. Let's begin the journey from pattern to possibility. For the past several years, I've been diving deep into the intersection between quantum physics, neuroscience, and practical spirituality. Not as some mystical guru disconnected from reality, but as someone committed to finding the truth, whether that truth is in the laboratories of Stanford physicists or in the ancient practices of energy healing that have been used for thousands of years. And here's what I've discovered. Consciousness is not produced by matter. Consciousness is matter. That's not a spiritual belief. That's quantum physics. That's the observer effect, proven in 1927 and confirmed thousands of times since. The act of observation, of consciousness, literally collapses waves of probability into particles of matter, which means the reality you're experiencing right now is not something that exists out there, independent of you. It's something you are actively creating with your consciousness, moment by moment, whether you realize it or not. And if you've been creating a reality you don't want, limitation, struggle, the same patterns on repeat, that's not because you're broken. It's because you've been operating from an outdated operating system, unconsciously broadcasting a frequency that keeps calling in experiences you don't actually want. Today, we're going to update that operating system. We're going to give you the complete map for how to ignore the reality that your five senses are currently showing you and begin creating from a different level of consciousness entirely. Here's what you're going to receive in this video. The complete map. Part 1, the quantum field and the illusion of solid reality. Why what you call reality is actually just one possibility among infinite timelines that already exist. Part 2, the science of the observer effect. The 1927 experiment that shattered classical physics and proved consciousness creates matter. Part 3, your electromagnetic broadcast system. How your heart, brain, and gut generate measurable fields that communicate with the quantum field 60 times more powerfully than your thoughts alone. Parte 4. The frequency of feeling versus the illusion of thinking. Why your emotional state is the real signal the universe responds to, not your mental affirmations. Parte 5. The complete protocol for ignoring current reality. Step-by-step practices for disconnecting from what is and connecting to what you're creating. Parte 6. Natural magic and timeline navigation. How to use the intelligence of nature to amplify your shifts and lock in new timelines. When you understand how these 6 pieces fit together, you'll stop feeling like you're fighting against reality. You'll realize you've been living inside a hologram, and you have the power to change the projection. Prepare yourself, because what you're about to learn is going to challenge everything you thought you knew about who you are and what you're capable of. Let's begin. 1927, Niels Bohr and Werner Heisenberg are conducting an experiment that will break physics. They're firing electrons, one at a time, through 2 slits toward a screen. According to classical physics, each electron should pass through one slit or the other and create 2 bands on the screen behind it. But that's not what happens. Instead, they see an interference pattern, the kind of pattern you only get from waves, not particles, which means the electron is somehow passing through both slits at the same time, interfering with itself like a wave of probability. But here's where it gets truly disturbing. When they set up a detector to observe which slit the electron goes through, the interference pattern disappears. The electron chooses one slit. It becomes a particle. The act of observation collapses the wave of probability into a single outcome. Einstein hated this. He called it spooky. He spent the rest of his life trying to prove that quantum mechanics was incomplete, that there had to be some hidden variable they were missing, some mechanism that explained how particles could know they were being observed. He was wrong. Decades of experiments have confirmed it. Consciousness doesn't just observe reality. Consciousness creates reality. And here's the question that changes everything. If particles exist as waves of probability until they're observed, what does that mean for your life? What if the reality you're experiencing right now, the job, the bank account, the relationship status, the body, what if all of that is just one possibility that collapsed into form because you've been observing it, expecting it, believing it's the only option? What if there are infinite other timelines, other versions of your life that exist right now as waves of probability, waiting for you to observe them, believe in them, feel them into existence? You're not trying to create something new. You're trying to tune into a reality that already exists. The question isn't, can I manifest this? The question is, which timeline am I observing into existence right now? But here's where it gets even more interesting, and this is where most manifestation teachings completely miss the mark. Because it's not enough to just think positive or visualize what you want. Your thoughts are not the primary signal the quantum field responds to. In 1993, researchers at the Institute of HeartMath made a discovery that changes everything we thought we knew about how consciousness communicates with the field. Let me show you what they found. Let's go straight to the scientific point that changes everything. Your heart generates an electromagnetic field that is 60 times greater in amplitude than your brain and can be detected up to 3 feet outside your body. That's not metaphor. That's measurable physics. In 1993, the Institute of HeartMath began using squid magnetometers, devices sensitive enough to measure the magnetic fields produced by your organs, and they discovered something extraordinary. When you feel emotions of coherence, gratitude, love, compassion, appreciation, your heart enters into a harmonic rhythm. This rhythm synchronizes your brain, your nervous system, your hormones, and even the coherence of your DNA. But here's what's revolutionary. This electromagnetic field doesn't stop at your skin. It extends beyond your body and interacts with the fields of other people and the quantum field itself. Dr. Rollin McCraty, the director of research at HeartMath, has published over 300 peer-reviewed papers demonstrating this. They can measure the moment when two people's heart rhythms synchronize. They can measure how a mother's emotional state affects her baby's heart rhythm from across the room. They can even measure how the collective emotional state of large groups affects the Earth's magnetic field. Here are the numbers. Your heart's electromagnetic field is 5,000 times stronger than the field produced by your brain. This field can be detected 3 to 10 feet outside your body using sensitive magnetometers. When you shift into heart coherence, your heart rate variability, HRV, shows a smooth, sine wave-like pattern instead of the erratic, jagged pattern of stress. Within 60 seconds of feeling genuine gratitude or appreciation, your cortisol levels drop and your DHEA levels rise, literally changing your biochemistry. And before you think this is pseudoscience, understand your body is 70% water. Dr. Masaru Emoto demonstrated that thoughts and emotions change the molecular structure of water crystals. If thoughts alter the structure of water, they alter the structure of you. But here's the part most people miss. It's not your thoughts that have the most gives power. It's the electromagnetic field generated by what you're feeling, especially what you're feeling in your heart, which means you can think positive thoughts all day long, but if your heart is broadcasting fear, lack, or unworthiness, that's the signal the quantum field receives. Here's what very few people understand. The quantum field doesn't respond to what you want, it responds to what you are. And what you are is not determined by your thoughts. It's determined by your frequency, the electromagnetic signature you're broadcasting through your biofield. Think of the quantum field like a vast cosmic radio. It's always broadcasting, infinite stations, infinite songs, infinite timelines, all playing simultaneously. Your consciousness is the tuner and the dial on that tuner. That's not controlled by your mind. It's controlled by your heart, specifically by the electromagnetic field your heart generates based on what you're feeling. When you feel lack, anxiety, fear, unworthiness, your heart generates a chaotic, incoherent electromagnetic field, and that field is tuning you into the stations that broadcast experiences of scarcity, limitation, and struggle. When you feel abundance, gratitude, love, worthiness, your heart generates a coherent harmonic field, and that field tunes you into the stations broadcasting experiences of overflow, synchronicity, and ease. The quantum field doesn't judge which station is better. It just delivers the reality that matches your frequency. So let's be really clear about what this means. If you're broadcasting anxiety, you're tuning into anxious timelines. If you're broadcasting gratitude, you're tuning into abundant timelines. If you're broadcasting lack, you're tuning into scarcity. If you're broadcasting wholeness, you're tuning into overflow. The universe isn't punishing you when bad things happen, and it's not rewarding you when good things happen. It's just matching your frequency. You are the radio. The quantum field is responding to whatever station you're tuned into. And here's the hard part to accept. You can't fake this frequency. You can't just think yourself into a new station, because 95% of your electromagnetic broadcast is coming from your subconscious, from the patterns, beliefs, and traumas stored in your nervous system and biofield. Which means if you want to change your reality, you can't just change your thoughts. You have to change the operating system, the subconscious programs running in the background that keep broadcasting the same old frequency. So what's the solution? Coherence. Heart coherence is the practice of consciously shifting your heart's electromagnetic rhythm into a harmonic, synchronized state, and in doing so, reprogramming the frequency you're broadcasting into the quantum field. This isn't meditation. This isn't woo-woo. This is practical technology backed by 30 years of research. Here's the exact protocol. The daily coherence practice, 15 minutes. Step 1, create your space. Find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed. Sit comfortably with your feet flat on the floor. Close your eyes and place one hand on your heart. Step 2, shift your focus. Move your attention away from your head and into the center of your chest. Imagine that you're breathing in and out through your heart. Inhale for 5 counts. Exhale for 5 counts. Keep your breath smooth and even. No force, no strain. Do this for 2 minutes until you feel a sense of calm presence in your chest. Step 3, activate a coherent emotion. Bring to mind a specific memory when you felt deep gratitude, love, or appreciation. Not just the idea of it, the feeling of it. See the scene, hear the sounds, feel it in your body. Let that feeling fill your chest and radiate out through your entire body. If the feeling fades, gently return to the memory and reactivate it. Hold this feeling for at least 5 minutes. Step 4, broadcast your desired reality. While maintaining the feeling of coherence in your heart, bring to mind the reality you're creating. Don't visualize the getting of it. That implies lack. Feel what it feels like to already be living it. How does your heart feel in that reality? What's the emotional tone, the sense of ease, the gratitude? Let your heart broadcast that frequency. Do this for 5 to 8 minutes. minutes. Step 5. Surrender and trust. Release the vision. Return to the feeling of gratitude. Say internally, I trust that what is mine is already finding me. Open your eyes and go about your day without needing to see evidence immediately. When you do this practice for the first time, your mind will probably resist. It will say, this is silly, this isn't real, nothing's happening. That's your ego trying to protect the old identity. That's the part of you that's addicted to struggle because struggle feels familiar. Let it be there. Don't fight it. Just gently return your focus to your heart and the feeling of coherence. If you do this practice consistently for 30 days, every morning before you check your phone, you will begin to notice shifts, synchronicities, unexpected opportunities, people showing up, doors opening. Not because you manifested them, because you changed your frequency and the quantum field delivered the reality that matches that frequency. Now, before you run off and start practicing coherence, there's something crucial I need to tell you about why most people do this practice and still don't see results. It has to do with something called energy hygiene. And if you don't understand this, you'll be sabotaging your coherence practice without even knowing it. Let me explain. Here's the scientific reality that no one talks about. Your biofield, the electromagnetic energy field surrounding your body, is constantly absorbing information from your environment. And I don't just mean metaphorically, I mean physically. Your biofield is absorbing the electromagnetic frequencies of the people around you, the devices you use, the places you go, and even the emotional residue left in spaces. Dr. Valerie Hunt, a physiologist at UCLA, spent 25 years measuring the human biofield using electromyography and high-frequency spectrum analysis. She published her findings in a groundbreaking book called Infinite Mind. What she discovered, the human biofield exists in layers, and each layer carries different frequencies and types of information. The first layer, closest to your physical body, oscillates at frequencies between 100 and 1600 hertz. This layer is directly connected to your nervous system and holds information about your physical health, your stress levels, and your emotional state. But the outer layers of your biofield extend several feet beyond your body and oscillate at much higher frequencies, up to 200,000 hertz and beyond. These layers interact with the fields of other people, with electromagnetic radiation from technology, and with the energetic imprints left in physical spaces. Dr. Hunt's research showed that when you walk into a room where there has been conflict, trauma, or dense emotion, your biofield absorbs that information. And if you don't consciously clear it, it begins to influence your own nervous system, your thoughts, and your emotional state. Here are the numbers. Your biofield extends 3 to 6 feet beyond your physical body on average. Sensitive individuals' fields can extend up to 15 feet. When you're in a state of stress or fear, your field contracts, sometimes down to just inches from your body. When you're in coherence, your field expands and becomes more resilient to external frequencies. Dr. William Tiller at Stanford demonstrated that human intention can change the pH of water by 1 full pH unit, proving that consciousness directly affects matter. And here's what this means for you. If you're doing your coherence practice every morning, but then you're spending the rest of your day absorbing the stress, fear, and chaotic frequencies of everyone around you, you're leaking your coherence faster than you're building it. It's like trying to fill a bathtub while the drain is open, which means if you want to maintain the frequency of the reality you're creating, you must practice energy hygiene. You must learn to protect, clear, and strengthen your biofield. Declaração do conceito, 30 segundos. Here's what most manifestation teachings completely ignore. You are not a closed system. You are an open antenna. And just like any antenna, you're constantly receiving signals from people, places, devices, and the collective consciousness. consciousness. If you don't learn to consciously filter what you absorb, your field becomes cluttered with frequencies that aren't yours. Think of your biofield like the air inside your home. If you never open the windows, never let fresh air in, never clean, what happens? The air becomes stale, dust accumulates, the energy feels heavy, dense, stuck. But if you open the windows, let light and fresh air flow through, clean regularly, the space feels alive, vibrant, clear. Your biofield works the same way. Every interaction you have, every space you enter, every piece of content you consume, it's like opening a door and letting something into your home. Sometimes it's fresh air, sometimes it's smoke, dust, or pollutants. And if you never consciously clear your field, if you never open the windows and let the stagnant energy drain out, then it accumulates. It weighs you down. It lowers your frequency. You can do all the coherence practices you want, but if your biofield is cluttered with everyone else's stress, fear, and chaos, you won't be able to hold the frequency of the reality you're creating. So let's be really specific. If you start your day scrolling social media before you've cleared your field, you're absorbing the emotional frequencies of thousands of people, most of whom are broadcasting anxiety, comparison, and lack. If you're spending time with people who constantly complain, gossip, or operate from victimhood, your field is absorbing that frequency. If you're working in an environment filled with stress, competition, or fear, your field is taking that in. And if you're empathic, if you're highly sensitive, you're absorbing even more than the average person, often without realizing it. And here's the trap. Because this happens subconsciously, you don't realize it's happening. You just notice that you feel drained, scattered, anxious, and you think something's wrong with you, but nothing's wrong with you. You're just absorbing energy that isn't yours, and it's lowering your frequency. The solution? Daily energy hygiene. Clearing your field the same way you shower your body. Consistently, intentionally, without exception. So what's the protocol? Energy clearing and grounding. These are not optional practices if you're serious about shifting your reality. They're as essential as breathing, because if you're not clearing your field daily, you're building your new reality on a foundation of cluttered, misaligned energy. Here's the exact protocol for daily energy hygiene. Morning energy clearing, 3 minutes. Do this before you check your phone, before you interact with anyone, before you absorb any external frequencies. Step 1, ground your energy. Stand barefoot if possible. Visualize roots growing from the soles of your feet deep into the earth. Feel the support of the earth beneath you. Say internally, I am grounded, I am supported, I am safe. Step 2, clear stagnant energy. Close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths. Visualize golden light pouring down through the crown of your head. See this light filling your entire body, every cell, every organ, every space. Let it expand beyond your body, filling your entire biofield. Now visualize all stagnant, heavy, or foreign energy dissolving in this light. See it draining down through your feet into the earth, where it's neutralized and transformed. Step 3, seal your field. Visualize a protective boundary around your biofield, like a sphere of light surrounding you. This boundary is permeable to love, support, and high-frequency energy, but it filters out stress, fear, and chaotic frequencies that are not yours. Say internally, I am sovereign, my field is clear, I choose what I absorb. Evening energy clearing, 5 minutes. At the end of each day, before bed, step 1, scan your body. Lie down comfortably. Scan through your body from head to toe. Notice anywhere you feel tension, heaviness, or discomfort. These are areas where you've absorbed energy from the day. Step 2, release what's not yours. Place your hands on any areas of tension. Ask, is this mine, or did I absorb this from someone else? If it's not yours, visualize it leaving your body like smoke, dissipating. See it returning to the earth or to the person it belongs to. with love, not judgment. Step 3. Fill with coherence. Place your hands on your heart. Breathe into your heart center. Activate the feeling of gratitude. Let that coherent frequency fill any spaces you've cleared. Say internally, I am whole, I am clear, I am aligned. The first time you do this practice, you might feel nothing, or you might feel a lot. Emotions rising, energy moving, even physical sensations like tingling or warmth. Both are normal. Your field is clearing out layers of accumulated energy. Some of it recent, some of it old. Trust the process. Don't judge what comes up. Just let it move through you and out. If you commit to doing this every single day for 30 days, you'll notice that you feel clearer, lighter, more resilient. You'll stop absorbing everyone else's stress, and you'll be able to hold the frequency of your desired reality for longer periods of time. Now, here's where this gets even more powerful, and this is something 95% of manifestation teachers never talk about. Because it's not enough to just clear your field and practice coherence. You also need to understand the timing of creation, the natural rhythms and cycles that amplify or diminish your manifestation power. Let me show you what I mean. Here's the scientific reality that changes everything about how and when you practice manifestation. The Earth generates a measurable electromagnetic field called the Schumann Resonance, and your nervous system is designed to synchronize with it. This isn't mysticism, this is biophysics. And when you align your practices with the natural rhythms of the Earth, you're working with the intelligence of nature instead of against it. In 1952, German physicist Winfried Otto Schumann mathematically predicted that the Earth generates a standing electromagnetic wave between the surface and the ionosphere. This wave resonates at a fundamental frequency of 7.83 Hz, which is almost identical to the frequency of your brain in the alpha state, deep relaxation, meditation, creative flow. But here's what's extraordinary. NASA has conducted studies on astronauts in space and found that when they're removed from the Schumann resonance for extended periods, they experience disorientation, anxiety, insomnia, and immune system dysfunction. Why? Because your nervous system is designed to entrain with this frequency. It's your biological connection to the planet. When you're in sync with the Schumann resonance, your nervous system operates optimally. When you're out of sync, you experience stress, disconnection, and incoherence. Dr. Dieter Broers, a biophysicist who has studied the Schumann resonance for over 30 years, has demonstrated that changes in the Earth's magnetic field directly affect human consciousness, mood, and even creativity. Here are the numbers. The Schumann resonance oscillates at 783 Hz, with harmonics at 14, 20, 26, 33, 39, and 45 Hz. Your brain's alpha state, deep relaxation meditation, operates at 8 to 12 Hz. Your brain's theta state, deep meditation, subconscious access, operates at 488 Hz. Studies show that when you spend time in nature, especially barefoot on the earth, your nervous system naturally synchronizes with the Schumann resonance within, 20 minutes. This synchronization reduces cortisol, increases parasympathetic nervous system activity, and enhances heart coherence. And before you dismiss this as too scientific, understand, you already know this intuitively. Think about how you feel after spending time in nature, especially near water, in forests, or on the earth. You feel calmer, clearer, more connected. That's not just getting away from stress. That's your nervous system recalibrating to the natural frequency of the planet. And when your nervous system is in sync with the earth, your biofield becomes more coherent, your heart rhythm stabilizes, and your ability to hold the frequency of your desired reality increases exponentially. Here's what changes everything. Creation is not a linear process. It's a cyclical cyclical process. Just like nature operates in cycles, day and night, seasons, lunar phases, tides, your consciousness also moves through cycles of expansion and contraction, planting and harvesting, action and rest. And when you try to force manifestation outside of these natural cycles, you exhaust yourself, you burn out, you create resistance. Think of manifestation like planting a garden. You don't plant seeds in the middle of winter and expect them to grow immediately. You plant them in the spring, when the earth is fertile, when the conditions are right. Then you water them, give them sunlight, and trust the process. You don't dig them up every day to check if they're growing. You don't force them, you allow. And when the season of harvest arrives, the garden gives you abundance, not because you forced it, but because you aligned with the natural rhythm. Your consciousness works the same way. There are times when the field is fertile, when your energy is high, when synchronicities are flowing, when the momentum is with you. These are the times to plant your intentions, take inspired action, and broadcast your desired frequency with full power. And there are times when the field is dormant, when your energy is low, when things feel slow, when nothing seems to be moving. These are not failures. These are the times to rest, integrate, clear your field, and trust that the seeds you've planted are germinating beneath the surface. Let's make this practical. New moon planting phase. This is when you set new intentions, when you clarify what you're creating, when you plant the seeds in the quantum field. Waxing moon, fact, growth phase. This is when you take inspired action, when you follow synchronicities, when you build momentum toward your vision. Full moon, release phase. This is when you let go of what's blocking you, when you clear old patterns, beliefs, and identities, when you make space for the new to arrive. Waning moon, integration phase. This is when you rest, when you integrate the lessons, when you trust that what's yours is already finding you. And here's why most people fail. They try to force manifestation 24/7 in every phase of the cycle. They don't honor the times of rest. They don't trust the dormant phases. And because they're constantly pushing, they exhaust their nervous system, deplete their biofield, and actually slow down the manifestation process. Creation requires both action and surrender, both planting and trusting, both expansion and integration. If you only do one, you'll burn out or stagnate. So what's the solution? Natural magic, working intentionally with the cycles of nature to amplify your manifestation power. This is not superstition. This is alignment. When you sync your practices with the natural rhythms of the earth and the moon, you're tapping into currents of energy that are already moving. You're working with the intelligence of the planet instead of trying to force your will against it. Here's the exact protocol for working with lunar cycles. Do this within 24 hours of the new moon. Step 1, clear your space. Light a candle or burn sage, Palo Santo. Sit in a quiet, clean space. Close your eyes and ground your energy. Step 2, set your intentions. Ask yourself, what do I want to create in this lunar cycle? Write down 3 to 5 clear, specific intentions. Write them in present tense, as if they're already real. Example, I am receiving abundant financial flow, not I want money. Step 3, activate the feeling. Close your eyes and bring your intentions into your heart. Feel what it feels like to already be living in that reality. Let that feeling fill your entire body and biofield. Hold it for at least 5 minutes. Step 4, plant the seed. Place your hands on the earth or a bowl of soil. Visualize your intentions as seeds being planted in the quantum field. Say, these intentions are planted. I trust the process. I allow them to grow in divine timing. Then release them. Don't obsess, don't force, don't check every day to see if they're working, etc. Full moon ritual is 15 minutes. Do this within 24 hours of the full moon. Step 1, review and acknowledge. Reflect on what has shifted since the new moon. Acknowledge the progress, the synchronicities, the growth. Say, I am grateful for what has arrived. Step 2, identify what's ready to release. Ask, What belief, pattern, or identity is no longer aligned with who I'm becoming? Write it down on a piece of paper. Be specific. The belief that I'm not worthy of love, or the fear of being seen. Step 3. Release it. Safely burn the paper in a fireproof container. As it burns, visualize that energy leaving your biofield. Say, I release this with love. It is no longer mine to carry. Step 4. Fill the space. Place your hands on your heart. Breathe in gratitude, coherence, and wholeness. Say, I am whole. I am free. I am aligned with my highest timeline. Marthati, grounding practice. Daily, 5 to 10 minutes. Every single day, regardless of the moon phase. Spend time barefoot on the earth. Grass, soil, sand, stone. If that's not possible, visualize roots from your feet connecting deep into the earth. Let the earth's frequency recalibrate your nervous system. This practice alone will increase your coherence, reduce stress, and amplify your manifestation power. You might think, I don't have time to track the moon phases. This feels like too much. Here's the truth. You don't have time not to do this, because when you work with natural cycles instead of against them, everything becomes easier. You stop forcing, you start flowing, and flowing is always faster than forcing. Start with just one lunar cycle. Try it. Notice what shifts, then decide if it's worth continuing. I promise you, it will be. Now, before you run off and start applying everything you've learned, there's one critical mistake that 90% of people make when they start practicing these techniques, and it sabotages their results without them even realizing it. Let me show you exactly what that mistake is and how to avoid it. All right, as I promised, I'm going to reveal the number one mistake that prevents 90% of people from successfully ignoring their current reality and creating what they actually want. This mistake is so subtle that most people don't even realize they're making it, and yet it's the single biggest reason why people do all the right practices, coherence, energy clearing, working with lunar cycles, and still don't see the results they're expecting. Are you ready? The mistake is this: trying to force the change. Let me explain. When you do your coherence practice with the energy of, I need this to work, I need my reality to change now, I need evidence that this is working, you are vibrating at the frequency of lack, not abundance. You're telling the quantum field, I don't have this yet. I'm incomplete without it. I'm desperate for it to arrive. And the quantum field, which is completely neutral, by the way, responds by giving you more experiences that match the frequency of not having it yet. It's not punishing you, it's not testing you, it's simply matching your frequency. So you can do all the practices perfectly. You can visualize, affirm, clear your field, work with the moon. But if you're doing it all from a place of desperation, force, or lack, you're actually reinforcing the opposite of what you want. Why is this mistake so common? Because we've been conditioned to believe that effort equals results. That if you just try hard enough, push hard enough, force hard enough, you'll get what you want. But consciousness doesn't work that way. Consciousness responds to frequency, not effort. And the frequency of forcing is always rooted in fear. Fear that it won't happen. Fear that you're not enough. Fear that you'll fail. And fear. Fear is a low-frequency broadcast. It tunes you into timelines of limitation, struggle, and lack. The solution: do the practices from a place of already being whole. Deal not from, I need this to feel complete, but from, I am already complete, and I'm simply aligning with the timeline where this is my reality. Not from, I have to make this happen, but from, I am allowing what is already mine to find me. It's a subtle shift in energy, but it makes all the difference between manifestation and desperation. So let's recapitulate what you've learned today. First, you discovered that consciousness creates reality, not as philosophy, but as quantum physics. The observer effect, proven in 1927, demonstrates that the act of observation collapses waves of probability into particles of matter, which means the The reality you're experiencing is not fixed. It's one possibility among infinite timelines, and you are choosing which timeline to observe into existence through your consciousness. You learned about the Institute of HeartMath's research, showing that your heart generates an electromagnetic field 60 times more powerful than your brain, and that this field, not your thoughts, is the primary signal the quantum field responds to. And you discovered Dr. Valerie Hunt's research on the biofield, proving that your energy field extends beyond your body and constantly absorbs information from your environment, which means energy hygiene is not optional if you want to hold a new frequency. Second, you learned how energy works as medicine, not as metaphor, but as measurable electromagnetic force. You discovered that when you practice heart coherence, you synchronize your heart, brain, and nervous system, creating a harmonic electromagnetic broadcast that communicates with the quantum field. You learned about the Schumann Resonance and how your nervous system is designed to entrain with the Earth's electromagnetic field, and that when you ground yourself in nature, you recalibrate your biofield and amplify your manifestation power. And you understood that your biofield is constantly absorbing energy from people, places, and devices, which means you must practice daily energy clearing if you want to maintain the frequency of your desired reality. Third, you received the practical protocols you can start applying today. The daily coherence practice, 15 minutes of heart-focused breathing combined with activating the feeling of your desired reality, the morning and evening energy clearing, grounding, clearing, and sealing your biofield to prevent absorption of misaligned frequencies. The lunar cycle rituals, working with the new moon to plant intentions and the full moon to release what's blocking you. The daily grounding. Practice connecting barefoot to the earth to synchronize with the Schumann Resonance. These are not theories, these are technologies, and when you apply them consistently, they will shift your reality. When you integrate these three, science, energy, and practice, you stop being a victim of circumstance. You stop waiting for reality to change. You become the creator of your reality. You don't just manifest things. You shift into a completely different timeline. A version of reality where the old patterns, limitations, and struggles simply don't exist anymore. You become a quantum being, consciously navigating infinite possibilities. Now I want to hear from you. Leave a comment below and answer this question. Which of the three practices, coherence, energy clearing, or lunar cycles, resonates with you most? And which one are you going to start today? Be specific. Don't just say all of them or I'll try. Tell me, which one practice are you committing to for the next 30 days and why? I read every single comment and I respond personally. And if you come back in 30 days and share your results, the synchronicities, the shifts, the evidence that your reality is changing, I want to hear about it. Because your story could be the catalyst that inspires thousands of other people to take this leap. If this content resonated with you, if you felt something activate in your body while you were watching, then subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell. Every single week, I release new videos about quantum physics, consciousness, biofield science, energy self-care, and natural magic. This is not entertainment. This is not theory. This is a training ground for quantum beings who are ready to step into their full creative power. If you're serious about transforming your reality, not someday, but now, then this channel is your guide. Subscribe, stay connected, and let's walk this path together. And if you know someone who needs to hear this message, someone who's been stuck in the same patterns, someone who's been trying to manifest but keeps hitting walls, someone who's ready for the next level of consciousness, share this video with them. You might literally change someone's life by doing that. You might be the person who hands them the key that unlocks everything they've been struggling to access. Don't underestimate the power of a single share. Consciousness spreads through connection. Be the bridge. And if you want to go even deeper into this work, I highly recommend watching the next video that's going to pop up on your screen. It's about how to collapse timelines and shift realities in 24 hours using advanced quantum techniques. Or check out the full playlist on quantum manifestation that's linked in the description below. These videos build on each other, and the more you immerse yourself in this material, the faster your reality will shift. The quantum field is waiting for you. Let's keep going. Before we close, I want you to remember something. You didn't find this video by accident. The fact that you watched this all the way to the end, that you stayed present for an entire hour, that's not random. That's synchronicity. That's your higher self guiding you to the exact information you need at the exact moment you're ready to receive it. You didn't stumble upon this. This video found you because you're ready. You're ready to step out of the old timeline. You're ready to stop playing small. You're ready to claim your power as a quantum creator. Trust that. You have everything you need inside of you right now to shift your reality. You don't need more courses. You don't need more information. You don't need to wait until you're healed enough or ready enough. You are ready. You have the science. Quantum physics proves that consciousness creates reality. You have the energy tools, coherence, clearing, grounding. You have the practices, new moon rituals, full moon releases, daily energy hygiene. Now all that's left is to apply them consistently, without needing immediate evidence, without forcing, without doubting. You are the creator of your reality. Not someday, not when circumstances change, right now. The quantum field is listening. It's responding to your frequency in this exact moment. So start today. Start now. Do the coherence practice before you go to bed tonight. Clear your field tomorrow morning before you check your phone. Work with the next new moon. Ground yourself on the earth this week and watch what happens. Watch the synchronicities. Watch the doors open. Watch reality bend. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay coherent, stay clear, stay connected to the infinite field of possibilities. You are quantum, you are powerful, you are ready. Now go create your reality.